it's Nell with Little Yellow House Crafts. Welcome back to my channel and happy Valentine's Day! It's Valentine's Day today, so happy Valentine's to everyone. I'm sorry it's been 2 months. Oh gosh. So I am sorry, but I'm also not sorry. I needed a little bit of a break. I love making videos and I love, updating you guys on what I'm working on, but I think just Christmas and then we had a whirlwind of a January, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. It just was too much. It was just too much for me to try to keep up with videos and do all of those things. So I am sorry. And I'm sorry for telling you I was going to post last week and then I didn't. It was Super Bowl Sunday and I had forgotten that it was Super Bowl Sunday, and we had church and then we were with family the rest of the day because football is a big deal in my family. So I'm sorry. I told you I would and then I didn't, and I felt worse about that than I felt about the 2 months prior. But anyway, I'm back. I'm back and I'm here to update you. I have a lot to show you, obviously, because it's been a while, but thank you for being patient. Thank you to all of you who reached out and were so kind in checking on me. Some of you I was able to respond to you. Some of you I know I did not, and I apologize for that again. I don't really have a good excuse other than it was crazy and my brain just needed a break from floss tube stuff, so I took a break and I feel better for it. So what has happened in the last 2 months? Okay, so the last time I posted was, I think, a week or two before Christmas, and I knew I probably wasn't gonna post a video for a while because of Christmas. But then on New Year's Day, I have to back up. So my husband is in his medical residency, as you know if you've been watching me for any length of time. And occasionally medical residents have to do what they call away rotations, which is when the program that they are with doesn't offer training in one particular area of their specialty. So for example, my husband is a pathologist, but the pathology department here where he is doing his residency training does not have the resources to offer training in one area of pathology, in this instance pediatric pathology. And so as a result, residents have to go elsewhere to do that particular area of their training. And it was going to be for the entire month of January, and I was feeling really, really depressed about it. I hate it when he's gone. I mean, he's a medical resident, and so there are plenty of times where he doesn't get home until long after the kids are in bed, sometimes even after I'm in bed, but most nights he is able to come home. And I just do so much better mentally when I know I'm gonna see him. And the thought of going for a whole month alone with my kids without him during January, during the time of a pandemic, I was getting like anxiety attacks even just thinking about it. And so I called my parents and I said, how would you feel about the boys and I coming to stay with you for a whole month? And they were very enthusiastic. I was a little surprised because I'm not sure all parents would want grandkids for an entire month, but bless my parents, they were so generous. And yes, the boys and I escaped to my parents' house for the entire month of January. I felt a little weird doing it during a pandemic, during coronavirus, but both of my parents had already had the virus around Thanksgiving time frame, so they were still within their window of immunity, and they felt comfortable with it and I felt comfortable with it, and so we just went. For my mental health, it was gonna be the healthiest option for us. So my husband was able to drive us out there, and then he flew back to his place where he was gonna do his away rotation and stayed there for the month, and then he flew out to get us and drove us all back home. So we didn't get home until the first day of February. We left on New Year's Day and we didn't get home till the 1st of February. So we were gone for the entire month of January, which is part of the reason why you didn't get a video in January, because I didn't film it all while I was at my parents' house. It was great. It was such a blessing to be with them and have other grown-ups to talk to and have some support with watching the kids. It was so nice to be able to just leave my kids with my parents and go to the grocery store by myself. And yeah, it went much better than I think it would have gone if I had tried to stay here for a month. by myself with my little boys. I tell you, those of you out there who are military spouses, all the props in the world to you, because I don't know how you do it. I do have a friend who's a military spouse, and she said that a lot of times you guys do what we did, and that is to go to where you have family, and I totally get it, but I am so impressed with you. I mean, 9-month deployments, and you guys managed to hold it together. I'm so impressed with you. So anyway, that's where we were for the whole month of January. And since we've been back, last Sunday was Super Bowl, so I didn't get to film a video. I'm still a little sad about the Super Bowl. The Chiefs. Oh, that game was not the best. But I still love my Chiefs. Tomahawk chop. I'm still a proud Chiefs fan. And it's Valentine's Day, and here I am with an update. Okay, so I have so much to show you. I'm kind of don't even know where to begin. Life updates. I think that's enough life update. You guys don't care about anything else. We're doing great. We're all healthy. We're all safe. We're all trying to survive. Apparently the Midwest is in the middle of a polar vortex. It was 0 degrees when we went to church today with a wind chill of -18. So we feel like we're living in Canada. I don't know how you Canadians do it either. I feel like such a pansy, but we're only supposed to have these super cold temps for another few days, and then hopefully it's gonna go back up a little bit because I'm dying. Do you guys like my hot pink Valentine's Day shirt? I don't even know if the color's showing up right because it's like hot pink. It's Valentine's. Okay, finishes. I have a lot. None that are fully finished because my brain I was not in the headspace for fully finishing anything in the last month and a half, but I have done lots of stitching and lots of other finishing, which you're gonna see. And one of the things that I did, I don't even know which one of these was the one that was started. I went totally buck wild on my Mill Hill Santas. Okay, you guys know that every once in a while I get in this funk where I just need to do some Mill Hill Santas. I had like 10 or 11 of them already done, and I went ahead and busted out 3 more in the month of December. I don't know, one of these I had started for Stitch Mania last year in 2020. I don't remember which one it was. I want to say maybe it was Mountaineer Santa or Mount Whitney Santa from the Mountaineer Santas, but I can't remember. But anyway, I did finish it, and then I did 2 more because I just wanted to keep going. So I'm going to show them to you in a minute, but just to show you these. This is from the Mountaineer Santa trio, which came out in 2004, and I did Mount Whitney Santa. And then I did from the Arctic Circle Santas that came out in 2009, I did Lapland Santa. So cute. With his reindeer friend. And then another deer. I felt like doing all the deer, I guess. This was from the Rocky Mountain Santas, which came out in 2008. And this is Beartooth Santa. And so, yeah, I did 3 of those, and here they are in all their finished glory. So let's do them in the same order that I showed you the things. So first we have Mount Whitney Santa. Let me fix his little beard. He's so sweet. I love the colors. He's carrying a little pickaxe or ice pick or something. This is actually stitched separately and then glued onto his hand. I love the bugle beads for these, for this like holly or whatever's in his basket. So that is Mount Whitney Santa. And then this is Lapland Santa with his reindeer. So cute. I'll show you my backs. Here's the back. I don't put anything on the backs of my projects, so when I'm stitching, I make sure, like if I have to run my thread over a large distance, I run it under things, and I make sure to like keep the back as tidy as possible because I know it's going to be exposed. So that is Lapland Santa. And then we have, what was the last one? Can't remember. Beartooth Santa from the Rocky Mountains. Fix his little beard too. Hold on. There's Beartooth Santa with his deer. Sorry. My nose is itching. Oh, it's so nice to be back at FlossTube with the nose itch. Since like my very first video. So that is Beartooth Santa. So these were so fun, and I just was really on a Mill Hill Santa kick. So I knocked 3 more out. I totally forgot to grab this. I also bought a few more. I always check eBay for when people are selling the kits for the ones I don't have. And I forgot to grab the ones that I bought. I bought 2, I think, from a series that I don't have yet. But I didn't grab them. I'll show them to you next time. So that was my first finish, or my first 3 finishes. Then I can't remember if I showed this to you or not. I don't think I did. This is my Shannon Christine Designs Ornament Club that I've been doing, and I am finished except for one. I don't think I've shown you these yet. So this is the December installment, the 2 patterns for the December installment. Shannon's been dealing with some health issues, and so we still haven't gotten the December freebie for that month. And so, you know, we're all waiting still on the Facebook page. She's totally fine. We don't need it. It's cross stitch. She needs to take care of herself. So I think she posted on her main Facebook page publicly, so I feel comfortable sharing this. I think she had gallbladder surgery. So she's been dealing with some stuff. So I am not totally finished with this project yet because I'm still missing the December freebie, but I did do the December pieces. And I got tired of working down the fabric, so I actually flipped my fabric upside down so that I wouldn't have to do that anymore. And I did December, which has Believe and Cookies for Santa. So these are not totally finished. As with all of these, I am waiting until I'm completely done with the last freebie, which will go here, to put all the red beads on all of these, because they all have red beads on every single one of these, and I just didn't want to do it till I was done. So that is Believe and Cookies for Santa in the kind of traditional Christmas colors colorway, because there were 2 different colorways, if you remember. She had traditional and then like aquas and pinks. So anyway, so those are the last 2. And if you flip the whole project this way, you can see the other 4 months all done. And so I'm just missing that last one that will go right there once she's feeling well enough to post the freebie. I can talk. I have absolutely loved stitching this. I haven't gotten sick of them. They are quick and simple. They're all upside down except for the last 2. We'll hold it this way. They're quick and easy to stitch. Ooh, sorry if that knocked the camera. They're quick and easy to stitch. I've really enjoyed it. I've loved stitching with the Krynic. There's gold Krynic in all of them, and I just think they're so festive. So I'm excited to finish that project up and figure out how I'm going to fully finish it. I'm going to make them into ornaments, obviously, because that's what they are, is ornaments. But I haven't yet decided like how and like what fabrics I'm going to use and how I'm going to finish them as ornaments. That's still to come. But so those were 2 small finishes. The project, however, is not yet finished because I'm still waiting for the December freebie. But it felt good to get caught up. I am now totally caught up, and whenever she feels up to posting the freebie, I will finish this up and be done with this project. That feels good. Okay, then we come to stuff. Okay, this was a whip. Before I show you new starts that became finishes, let's show you a whip. I don't know why I felt like doing this in December, but I really felt like working on my Prairie Schooler, my monthly series, and I pulled out September, which I got a lot done before I put it away in the fall. I got like up to the top of the picture, and I hadn't done any of the words up here on the big one. Sorry, I should hold it closer. I had gotten all of this done, and I just hadn't done anything above the line of the house and the pheasants. So I hadn't done any of the words or this thing, and I hadn't finished the border, obviously. So I just felt like working on it, so I grabbed it, and lo and behold, I finished it. So September's done. Yeah. Prairie Schooler, September, stitched on, I think this is 28 count. Nope, 32 count. Stitched on 32 count white linen by Zweigart, as per usual. I pretty much always use Zweigart. Or a dyer that uses Zweigart as a base, because I don't like Witchelled linen at all. But yeah, so that's September. It's done. It needs to be finished along with November and June, which are the other ones that I've done and haven't finished. I've already finished April and fully finished that, but yeah, I haven't fully finished any more of these. So that was my Prairie Schooler September. That was stitched. I'm not telling you what things are stitched with. Wow, I am out of practice. I'm just stitching that with the called for DMC on white linen. The Shannon Christine Sal, you guys have seen me talk about that before. I'm stitching that with all DMC. And the Mill Hill kits, I'm using the thread that came in the kit, which is also DMC. So far, all DMC. Okay, then we come to the two that were new starts and that are now finishes. And one of them I am terribly, terribly excited to share with you because at long last, I have completed my Country Cottage Needleworks Cottages of the Month. I finished December, and with that finish, I am done with this series. I still need to fully finish December and November, but all the rest, January through October, are done and fully finished, and I am so proud of myself. I did it! I did the whole series! I do usually complete the things I start. Sometimes it just takes a long time. So, here's December. It's beautiful. It's so Christmassy, so charming. Love the little white house. And I will show you the colors I used because once again, as always, I chose my own colors for this piece. This is stitched on 28 count. This is 28 count. Dirty Linen by Zweigart, same as all the rest of the 12 of these monthly cottages. And the threads I used. So the red, I used Crimson Satin by Victorian Motto. The yellow, I used Traditional Sunflower. There's a little bit of yellow in there. The green, the main green that I used is a new one from Country Cottage. This is the most beautiful, like piney green. This is called Americana Homestead. And it's the most perfect Christmas tree green. It's not too blue, it's not too green, it's not too gray. It's just the perfect like forest green. Then for my two browns, I used Classic Colorworks Roasted Chestnut as the lighter of the brown, and then Classic Colorworks German Chocolate as the darker. I used Classic Colorworks Pebble Beach as this kind of beigey tan. For my gray, for the roof, I used Silver Lining by Victorian Motto. And then I used DMC White for the white, and then I needed an off-white, so I used Lamb's Wool by Victorian Motto. And then I had a dark black gray, which I used Weeks Dye Works Coal. And those were the colors I used for December. And I can't believe that series is done. I've been working on that series for like 3 years now, a long time. And I'm very proud that they're finished. So just need to fully finish those last two and I'll have the whole set. Okay, last new start and last cross-stitching finish to show you. This one I bought recently and you guys helped me pick the fabric and I just couldn't resist. I wanted to start it. So I started it and finished it. This is Rack Stack by Plum Street Samplers. Claire, the little deer. So cute. I did end up going with the 32 count Glacier by Picture This Plus, Belfast Linen. I just decided I liked the lighter aqua color rather than the darker, but there it is. 32 count Glacier. It's very pretty fabric. I think it looks really good as the background to these dear friends, and I'll show you the colors I use for them. So cute. Yeah, I don't really know what else to tell you about it. I used mostly hand dyeds, but with a few DMC thrown in. And the DMC that were thrown in are in an enormous mess because I had to buy these out in Utah. I hadn't brought the right colors of DMC with me, and obviously I was going to be there for a month and I wanted to finish this, so I ran to Michael's and bought the colors I needed, but I didn't have my normal storage system, so they're just in like a wad. That's very out of character for me. But here are the rest of the colors I used. So I used some of the called for DMC. The rest of the colors I chose my own, and so I will show you those. For the kind of hot coral color of the berries, I used Fire Embers it almost exactly matches my shirt. It's slightly orangier than my shirt because this is coral and my shirt is pink, but it's like also kind of neon. This is my favorite hot coral color. It's from Victorian Motto, and I've used it now in several pieces. This is Fire Embers, and it's great. My green, I chose Aussie Parrot, also by Victorian Motto. This is a much lighter, brighter, kind of toned Christmas piece. For my white, cream, off-white, I used Classic Colorworks Eggshell. Weeks Dye Works Bright Leaf. It's one of my browns, light brown. For the colors of the, Bright Leaf was the color of the fawn. And then for the color of the doe and the buck, I used a combination of these two. The doe is in this one, the lighter one, and the buck's in the darker one. So these are both by Gentle Arts. For the doe, I used Wood Smoke. And for the buck, the darker one, I used Sable by Gentle Arts. And then last two, I needed a dark gray for their antlers, and I used Black Coffee by Classic Colorworks. And then the black for their hoofs and noses, I used Weeks Dye Works Mascara. And so those, along with these, were the colors that I used. These were called for in the chart, so I'm not going to read them out to you. But yeah, those are the colors I replaced for Rack Stack. And now I want more of these Plum Street Samplers animal trios. I've done 2 of them now. I've done Rack Stack, and I did the Gobble Gob for Thanksgiving. And now I want more. I really want the chickens one. I can't remember what it's called. Henpeck, maybe? The chickens. I want the sheep. I want the goats. I want the cows. I want the foxes. I want all of them, if I'm being honest. Anyway, and she keeps coming out with more. Paulette. I need all the things. Okay, so those were my cross-stitch finishes. I also had some other finishes, and this is a totally new project that you guys have never heard me talk about before, because while I was out in Utah, I was talking to my mom about this project that I had found on Etsy one day when I had just been clicking around Etsy, as one does. And I had been sitting, I found these like a year ago, and I just thought they were totally gorgeous, but I never pulled the trigger because it's fairly expensive to start a new kind of craft, because you not only have to buy the materials for that project, but you also have to buy all the tools and all of the things you need. I mean, it's less expensive for me to just stick with cross stitch because I already have all the stuff for it. I have the needles and the frames and all the doodads, and I know what I'm doing. When you start a new craft, you kind of have to buy a bunch of new stuff. So I never started it. I never purchased it, and I was showing my mom a picture. We had gotten talking about felt, and I told her how I wanted to try some felt crafting. I know a lot of people do felt, and I had found this project a year ago, and I showed it to her, and she was like, "Oh, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life." And I said, "I know." She was like, "You should start it and then make me a set." So I bought it. I bought the patterns, I bought the felt, and I have started a new project. And so far I'm really enjoying it. I've done 4 of them so far, and I'm really loving working with felt. These are felt ornaments. They are by the designer Crafts, which is, her name is, hold on, Larissa Holland. She's a designer, and she designs felt ornaments that are stupid cute, like adorable. I want all of them in my house, all of them. But the ones that first caught my eye are her series of folk art styled 12 Days of Christmas ornaments, and I'm just going to show you on my iPad. It's terrible because of the glare. You can't really see that very well. I'm sorry. I'm hoping you can see that they are folk art styled, and I'm going to show, I have finished a few, so I'll be able to show you those. But we have the drummers, Lords a Leaping, Gold Ring, Piper Piping, Milkmaids, Ladies Dancing, and then all of the various birds in that song. Sorry, all you can see are my blinds. Oh, the colors aren't showing up. But that's okay, because I have the felt to show you. Her stuff's gorgeous. It's so elegant and well designed and classy. And the way she does her patterns makes them very beginner friendly. If you are new to felt work, the way she designs her patterns is they are made to be printed on this magical stuff called Stick and Stitch by Sulky. This is magic. This is, I'm gonna show you a pattern because this is not like cross stitch. You cannot make it from this pattern, and I'll hold it way back. This is the pattern for the Partridge and the Pear. And your pattern looks like this, and you either copy or print it with your printer, your at-home laser printer, if you have a laser printer, onto these sheets of this stabilizer. Can you hear that? It's like a fabric-y stabilizer. You can actually put this into your printer drawer, paper drawer, and print directly onto it. Or if you don't have a laser printer, you can print out the pattern and then take it down to a copy shop and print on a laser printer directly onto this stuff. You peel the backing off and it's sticky on the underside. You stick it to your felt pieces and you embroider exactly where she shows you to embroider. There's no guesswork involved. For someone like me who does not enjoy freehand embroidery, this is about the only way I will ever do embroidery, because I literally stick my needle through the stabilizer with the pattern printed on it onto the felt. Then when you're all done with the embroidery, you soak the felt in water for 15 minutes and the stabilizer with the pattern on it melts away, disappears, and all you're left with is your felt with the embroidery on it. It's genius, guys. So genius. This stuff is not cheap. Each of these packs cost me about $13. There's, I think, 12 sheets in each pack. So they're like $1 a sheet, but hello, worth it to not have to freehand embroider stuff that I don't feel comfortable doing. So this stuff's magic. The way she designs her patterns is magic. And I've finished 4 of the pieces, and you'll actually get to see what the colors look like, because they're gorgeous. So the day 1, we have the Partridge and a Pear. So here's my Partridge. And if you can cross stitch, you can do these. The only embroidery stitches used in all of her patterns are running stitch, back stitch, and French knots. That's it. So if you know how to cross stitch and you know how to do back stitching and French knots, you'll be fine. Look at how pretty. Look at the beautiful folk art style. Each of her patterns is also designed so on the back it tells you what day it goes with. So this one says number 1. That's the Partridge. And Partridge came with a bonus pattern, a matching pear. That's the cutest ever, with a little leaf. So Pear also says number 1 on the back. And they're made of felt, and they're gorgeous. They're so beautiful. I'm obsessed. I love them so much. So that was day 1. I finished that one. I did these out of order. I actually did day 3 before I finished day 2, but I'm going to show you them in order. So this is day 2. This is the turtle dove. Look at those golds. And the folk art style. They're just so pretty. There's a little wooden bead underneath for the feet of the turtle dove. And on the back wing, it says number 2 because it's the 2nd day. So that's the turtle dove. I'm not entirely sure I love where I've placed the hanger. I feel like it's tipping too far forward. I think I'd like it better if it was more upright. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I move the hanger? It'd be really easy for me to cut the hanger off and put a new one on further up the back so that it doesn't tip so far forward. Tell me if you think I should, or if you like the turtle dove kind of tipped forward like that. Anyway, that's the turtle dove. Gorgeous, embroidered, so pretty, so easy to make. And this one's quite possibly my favorite of all the ones I've done so far because it's so freaking cute. This is the French hen, and you guys are gonna die. Sorry, can you hear my kids hollering? Their dad's out there with them. Here's the French hen. Look at the colors. Oh my gosh. The French hen, its little tail, and then on its body on the back, look at its little feet. It says number 3, and that's the French hen. And again, the folk art style embroidery, like, could you die? Have you ever seen anything so beautiful in your entire life? So that's what I've been working on. The materials are not inexpensive. She has, you can use whatever like felt you'd like to use. Oh, here's a slightly better, it's not so glary. This is the like materials list that you can see I've written all over and made notes on the back. And anyway, that's what they look like, that particular colorway. So on her Etsy shop, she mentions, and then on her blog, she has a blog where I've been following her instructions. She mentions that there are 2 different felt shops she worked with to put together 2 different colorways. And the color series that you see me using was put together by an Etsy shop called Felt on the Fly, and they sell 100% wool felt. So this is pure merino wool felt. You can also use wool blend felt, and she has another colorway that she worked with another Etsy shop owner, I think called Benzie Designs or something like that, who sells wool blend felt, to come up with another colorway that's a little bit lighter and more pastel-y. I just loved these like jewel tone, like folk art colored felts, and so I bought my felt from Felt on the Fly from the Etsy shop that she put it together with, and they came in 3 colorways. Each color series you use for 4 of the 12 days so that you have a nice blend. But they have the emerald colorway, which you can see there, and with my notes about DMC and stuff like that. That's the emerald. This is the gold colorway, and this is the sapphire. And I put these little swatches on there because I was just sure I was going to get colors mixed up, because there's several different colors of pink, several different colors of gold, and I just didn't want to get messed up. So I put swatches on after my felt arrived. The felt was expensive because this is wool, 100% wool felt, and I bought a whole stack of it. This is all the felt for my pieces. You can see the pieces I've already cut into. But I mean, look at the colors. It's so beautiful. So I have nothing but good things to say about the felt, and this is the first time I've ever worked with 100% wool felt. It is a bit of a pain because after you get it, you have to thoroughly soak and air dry all of this because of the stabilizer pattern stuff that she uses. Your felt's gonna get wet when you have to soak off the stabilizer, and wool shrinks when it gets wet. So when these arrived, I spent a whole evening, one by one, soaking them in the sink with my sprayer nozzle in the bottom of the clean sink till it was totally saturated, rolling them in towels, because you can't wring this stuff or it'll stretch out of shape. Rolling it in a towel to get as much of the water out as possible, and then laying them flat to dry. My mom's dining room was covered with towels with pieces of felt laid out to dry. Bless her for humoring me. She even helped me like soak them all. It was a whole big project we did together. So that was a pain, I'm gonna be honest. Having to soak and then air dry all of this felt was a pain in the booty. But it's worth it, because now when I soak the stabilizer off, it's not going to shrink anymore. It's not going to warp out of shape. And yeah, so that is one downside to using 100% wool felt. I think if you use wool blend felt, you don't have to do that, but that might be a lie. So if you are a person who knows more about felt, can you let us know if you have to pre-soak wool blend felt when it's wool blend with, I think sometimes polyester or rayon, I'm not sure what they blend it with, but this is the 100% wool felt, because I wanted these to be like heirloom quality, like keep forever. And I am currently working, as I do my series, I'm also making a series for my mom because she really wants one, and I was showing them to my sisters and they were all like, we want a set. So I might be working on these for like the next 20 years as I slowly make a set for every person in my family. But I mean, could you die? These colors, I just can't even. So anyway, that's my new project and I just love them. Her patterns are so easy to follow. The instructions are excellent. They are not difficult to make. And they go a lot faster than cross stitch. I can finish one of these in about 2 to 3 days. Whole thing. Cutting it out, doing all the embroidery, soaking off the stabilizer, letting it dry, and then assembling the whole thing. I mean, to assemble this probably took me 3 hours, start to finish, to do the whole assembly part of it. So they are not difficult. They don't take a ton of time. It's a nice little break from cross stitch to just like whip out a new one of these. And I have 4 done, 3 days. There's 4 ornaments because there's that pair, but I've done 3 days of the 12, and the way she's designed them, they get progressively a little bit more difficult to assemble, so that as you like learn how to work with felt, you start working up in difficulty level. But yeah, and now I have like almost a whole year to keep working on them, although I don't know if they'll be done by this Christmas. But yes, here they are again. They're beautiful. Her blog, where you can see all of her work, is crafts, mmmcrafts.blogspot.com. I will link everything in the description box. Her blog, her Etsy store, Felt on the Fly's Etsy store, I'll link it all. But I just have to show you, she has started designing 2 new ornament series, both of which I need. She has a 'Twas the Night series from the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas poem. She has a Santa, a Mrs. Claus, and some elves. And she does them in all kinds of different colorways. So here's the elves. Here's Mrs. Claus. Sorry, these pictures are terrible, but you go to her blog, you can see them yourself, and Santa. And then she has them in a couple different colorways. So there's that red and blue colorway that you've already seen. There's Mrs. Claus and an elf in a gold, Santa and an elf in a blue suit, and then she even has like a pastel, pink pastel version. I mean, her stuff is just drop dead spectacular gorgeous, and she does them all in this like folk art style, which I totally love. Let me go back, and so that's her 'Twas the Night series. So far there are 4 ornaments that she's designed for that one, and I think she said there's gonna be 9 maybe. And then she's also designing a series based on A Christmas Carol. And so far she only has 2 designed in that series. She has Mr. Scrooge, and I just can't. Jacob Marley. Look at his chains. Like, I'm obsessed. I love, she's got these done in a couple different colorways. They're more, oops, don't go to Etsy. They're more Victorian colors, so like golds and navies and dark burgundy reds and just like, oh my gosh. So there's 2 designed, and then she also has them in a pastel colorway. So you can, again, she has suggestions. If you want more of the Victorian colorway, you can go with that, or you can go with the pastels, the aquas and pinks and all of that. And then she works with Benzie Design. Benzie Designs on Etsy, she did for these. And this is how big they are on her hand. That's Scrooge. Anyway, I'm obsessed. I think she's insanely talented. Again, her blog is crafts, mmmcrafts.blogspot.com, and I will link it all. And I'm so sorry if I'm enabling you all to take up another craft, but I mean, it utilizes a very similar skill set to cross stitching. Let's be real. It's handwork. It's hand needlework. And the embroidery is like totally up our alley, and working with DMC is like second nature to us. We know how DMC works, and so it just seems like an obvious choice for stitchers. So if you like those, go follow all the links and show some support to these ladies who are so talented. Like, seriously, it's gorgeous. Okay, I'll stop talking about those. I have one other whip that I've been working on. It's on my Q-snap, and I'm not going to take it off my Q-snap right now, but this is what I've been stitching on. in the last little bit since I finished all those other things. I pulled out my Country Cottage Needleworks Seasonal Celebrations Winter. So I started this. Uh-oh. There we go. All tangled up. I have a Hocus Pocus needle minder. That's not matching. Please ignore that. But that's what I have so far. So I'm almost done with the top half, and then I'll do all the words. Threads. Sure, I'll show you. I did pick my own threads as usual. I'm just using DMC Blanc as my white. For my light teal, I'm using Really Tealy by Classic Colorworks, and my dark teal, I'm using Tempting Teal by Victorian Motto, and they look really good together. Those are for the house. My light blue, I'm using It's Berry Blue, Victorian Motto. Light brown, Cocoa Bean, Victorian Motto. Dark brown is Bittersweet by Victorian Motto. And then I have my gray is Slate Roof by Victorian Motto. This is such a great dark, almost purpley gray. It's so nice. And then my green for the trees, I'm using Classic Colorworks Desert Mesquite. And yeah, those are the colors I chose. Once more. This fabric is a 32 count Belfast linen by Zweigart in the color Blue Ice. It's just a regular Zweigart color. It's not dyed. I bought it from 123 Stitch. I always stick the sticker from 123 Stitch on the back bottom of my patterns. So this is 32 count Blue Ice Belfast. And that's my only cross stitch whip for right now. We are already 40 minutes into this video. I'm sorry guys, there's just so much. It's been 2 months. What shall I show you? Plans and then haul. I don't have a lot of haul, but it's been 2 months, so I do have some stuff. Plans. Let's do plans. Okay, next thing I want to start, because it's still winter, I want to do my winter whirligig by Heart and Hand. I've done 2 of these. I'm stitching them all on the same fat 1/8 of Vintage Country Mocha. So I did summer and autumn. I need to do fall or winter over here, and then I'll do spring eventually. And I do have a little candle dish thing that I found at Goodwill. That's the perfect size, little round fluted edge. It almost looks like a tart pan, but with a little handle, so it's to put a candle on. But I'm gonna use that for these. I'm gonna finish them in a round and set them in that and the hands. So that's something I would like to start. I've already picked some thread colors for it. I'm not gonna take you through them right now because they might change. Often they do after I choose them. Sometimes I change my mind. But those are kind of what I have in mind for right now. If I do start that, I will tell you what colors I'm using in my next video. So that is a possible start. And then I grabbed a few other things. Since I finished my September Prairie Schooler month, I thought about maybe let's start February. Why not? We need to start another one, and I kind of feel like doing something Valentine's-y, February. There's a groundhog, and in this one we've got President Lincoln and President Washington, because it's President's Day tomorrow. Friday was Lincoln's birthday, and tomorrow, Monday the 15th, is Washington's birthday. So that's why we celebrate President's Day on the first Monday, second, third Monday, whatever. Washington's birthday's tomorrow. Lincoln's birthday was on Friday. So it's President's Day here in the United States tomorrow. So there's those guys, and Groundhog for Groundhog Day, and then hearts and roses and stuff for Valentine's. So that's February. So cute. I will just stitch this with DMC. Probably on either white or antique white 32 count linen, like I'm doing all of these. And then the last thing that I pulled out that I think I'd maybe like to stitch is I have this Brenda Gervais pattern I've had for a year or two. It's Easter Peak Parade, and I really love it on that dark brown. I do have some dark brown linen that I bought for this pattern, but I might also change my mind and maybe stitch it on like a pale yellow or a pale orange or pink for Easter-y colors. What do you guys think? Would you go with the dark brown on this, or would you go for more like Easter colors, like yellow or pink or something? Because you know me, I like my colors. I like this dark brown. I love how well everything pops on it, but it's also not super Easter-y. It is chocolatey looking though, and there is chocolate at Easter time. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Brown or some other pastel Easter color for the linen for Easter Peak Parade. So I pulled that out because I think I'd like to start that soon. That's it for plans. Let's talk about haul. The first few things are not things that I bought. These were things that my mom gave me. My grandmother passed away about a year ago, my dad's mom. And in the process of going through all of her stuff, there were some things that she had in her sewing materials that my mom, that I guess all of the aunts and my dad and my mom decided to offer to me because I guess I'm the most needlework sewing oriented of the granddaughters. And there were just some really sweet treasures in there that are just vintage and antique. So the first three are my very first antique wooden spools from my grandmother. This one's a J.P. Coates, 10 cents. This one is a American Thread Company Star Mercerized Cotton. And it's like this aqua turquoise color. And then the last one, this one is empty. This is a Belding Corticelli mercerized cotton. It was black. It says shade black, 45 cents. So I've never had any like vintage spools, antique spools before. And these are really special to me because they're from my grandmother. Then these are also from my grandmother, and these are so neat. Some of these aren't as cool because they're more recent, but some of these are really old. I got some of my grandmother's vintage pins and needles, and you've just got to see how beautiful these are. This is a pack of Clinton rust-proof brass silk pins that cost 10 cents. And you open it up, and there's all the pins in their little thing. Clinton rust-proof silk pins, 10 cents for this. I just think that's really cool, and it's so pretty. Like, look at how elegant that is. Here's another one. Penny Made quality pins. Brass rust-proof. Doesn't say how much these cost. It probably set up here and then it got torn away. This one's a much larger book of pins. And it folds up. Penny Made antique pins. This is extra fine beading needles, Crown Fox, 49 cents. Beading needles. That's just kind of cool. So yeah, I just got some really beautiful like vintage sewing stuff. Those were the ones that I thought were particularly special. Those pins, books of pins, and those wooden spools. So that I got from my grandmother. I also got some of her china and other things. They kind of shared all of her things with her grandchildren. I got some of her old jewelry and pins because I'm gonna make a jewelry tree someday. Anyway, do you guys know what a jewelry tree was? That was like a thing in the 70s. You make like a Christmas tree out of old jewelry, and they're beautiful and sparkly. My other grandmother, my mom's mom, has one. She's still living, and I was just obsessed with it as a child. So I've been collecting stuff over the years to make my own someday. Then I found another antique slate at an antique store. I love these. I think they're so pretty, and they make great finishing backgrounds for cross stitch. You finish something in this shape or vertically or whatever, and then you use magnets or something to affix it to the back. It's just such a nice way to finish cross stitch. It says on the bottom, made in Italy. Really small right there. This is an old slate. So anyway, got that for finishing. I just think it's beautiful. This costs, I think, $6 or $7. You can find them in antique stores. It's really cool. And then last but not least, I'm sorry I don't have those Mill Hill kits to show you, but I'll show you next time. I did go ahead and order my pillow covers for my living room for Easter time. I didn't get to show you my Valentine's ones because I didn't make a video between Christmas and now. Right now we have Valentine's covers on our pillows with the same black and red buffalo check, bigger pillows because they matched. So I got I ordered some new bigger pillow covers for Easter, and I got them in this light blue check. They need to be ironed, but this light blue check for the larger pillows. And then in front of those, the 4 smaller throw pillows will have Easter themes, and they're so cute. Happy Easter, peeps. Love it. The bunny peeps. We have it's spring, or it's hunting season with Easter eggs. And these will look so cute in front of the light blue pillows. So it's hunting season. Happy Easter with bunny ears and eggs. And then the last one says Easter Day Market. So I thought those were really cute. Those are the Easter pillow covers I chose from Amazon. I will link those. They'll be up in my Amazon shop. And I'll put the Valentine's Day ones up there as well that I chose. I mean, it's too late for this year, but maybe next year. Who knows? Maybe you'd like them for next year. I just really love changing my pillows out for holidays. It's really easy. It's an easy way to make you feel like you've decorated. It's just to change your pillow covers out. And it's fun for the kids and for my husband to be like, oh, you got new pillow covers for the new holiday. I didn't do anything for New Year's because New Year's is right after Christmas, and usually after Christmas I start decorating for Valentine's Day, so I didn't do anything for that. I will do Easter. I'm not gonna do St. Patrick's Day, although maybe I should. I mean, my husband's family is Irish, for crying out loud. My name's Cunningham. Maybe we should have St. Patrick's Day pillows covers. What do you guys think? Is it worth decorating for St. Patrick's Day, or should I just stick with Easter? I don't know. That's it, guys. This is a long video. There was a lot to catch you up on, but I hope you had fun. I hope you found some inspiration. I hope that if I enabled you to spend all of your money on new things, I hope that you enjoy it at least. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. As always, you can find me on Facebook. I have a group there, Little Yellow House Crafts. It's where I tend to post my project bags. I do have another batch of project bags that have been cut out, and I'm in the process of starting to sew those. I don't know when they'll be ready to sell, but someday. And yeah, that's all. I've missed you guys. This was fun. I'm glad that I got to get on and do a video. That's all for this time, guys. I'll see you in either next week or the week after, hopefully. And I'll talk to you then. Bye.